The moment her trembling voice echoed through the crowded restaurant to "May I have your leftovers, sir?" Everyone went silent, but when the millionaire turned, looked into her eye as a broken bar, something happened that no one could have predicted. Before we begin, if stories of hope, miracles, and humanity touch your heart, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more life-changing stories your way. He was known in the city as Mr. Ryan Wallach, the man whose presence made waiters straighten their shoulders and managers whisper into their walkie-talkies. A self-made millionaire, disciplined, perfectly dressed, and always pressed for time. People imagined he had everything: money, respect, influence. But not one person knew how empty his heart had grown. It was almost closing time when Ryan finally managed to steal a quiet dinner for himself. He sat by the corner window, half-eaten steak in front of him, staring blankly into space. His mind was miles away, lost in memories of his late mother, the woman who raised him alone, who never let him go to bed hungry even when she did. His fork froze midair when he heard the voice, soft, apologetic, desperate. "Sir, a broken bar. I don't want to disturb you, but a broken bar. May I have your leftovers?" He turned sharply. She was younger, maybe in her early 20s, her hair pulled back messily, her clothes worn out but clean. She stood stiffly, as if ready to run at the first sign of anger. Her fingers shook while clutching a small cloth bag, but her eye as a broken bar. Those eyes carried storms, pain, pride, and a fading hope that looked moments away from breaking. Ryan blinked, unable to speak. The restaurant manager rushed toward her. "We've told you before," he barked. "You can't beg from customers." She lowered her head. "The broken bar. I'm sorry. I just thought maybe he would say yes, a broken bar." The manager grabbed her arm hard. "Stop," Ryan said. His voice came out sharper than intended. Everyone froze. He stood slowly from his seat. "Let her go." The manager stepped back reluctantly. Ryan looked at the girl again. "What's your name?" She hesitated. "Asa." "Why do you need leftovers, Asa, when you could ask for help properly?" Her lips trembled. Tears threatened but didn't fall. She swallowed hard before answering. "Because asking for leftovers doesn't make me feel like a burden, sir." Those words hit him deep. Ryan signaled the waiter, "Pack a fresh meal." "No, I'll make it too." Asa shook her head quickly. "No, sir, please. I don't want charity. Just the leftovers are enough." "This isn't charity." His tone softened. "Nobody deserves leftovers in life." Her eyes widened in shock. When the food arrived, he handed her the bag. "Come, sit with me." She stepped back instantly. "No, sir, I don't belong here." "You do tonight." She sat slowly, unsure, nervous. Ryan asked gently, "Tell me your story." At first, Asa hesitated, but hunger and exhaustion loosened the guard around her heart. She told him everything: how her father had fallen sick and passed away, how her mother struggled until she, too, couldn't fight anymore, how Asa took responsibility for her little brother, Hamida, just 10 years old and asthmatic, how she worked 2 jobs, studied at night, and still ended up choosing between rent and food, and how, on nights like this, she walked into restaurants hoping someone would leave a little extra. Ryan felt the weight of every word. He had known struggle too, but he had never known this brutal loneliness, this daily battle for survival. "Where is your brother now?" he asked. "At home," she whispered. "I told him I'd bring something today." A broken bar. The trembling in her voice finally broke. A single tear slipped down. She quickly wiped it, embarrassed. "I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to cry." Ryan looked at her the way he once wished someone would look at him during his darkest years, with kindness. "Asa," he said quietly, "how would you feel if I said you don't have to live like this anymore?" She froze. "What do you mean?" "What if I help you get a job, a real one, stable, and help Hamid with his treatment?" Asa stared at him as if he had just spoken a language she'd never heard. "Why a broken bar? Why would you do that?" she whispered. He took a deep breath. "Because once, I was hungry too, and a stranger helped me when I didn't deserve it. I promised myself that if I ever became in a broken bar, I would pass that kindness on." Her lips parted, her eyes filled again, but this time, not with pain, with gratitude, with disbelief, with the spark of hope she thought she'd lost forever. That night, Ryan drove her home. A tiny, dimly lit room, barely furnished, but spotless. With the small child sleeping peacefully on a thin mattress, Asa tucked the food beside him with a gentle smile. Ryan watched the scene, and something inside him shifted. A door in his heart locked for years finally opened. From that night onwards, everything changed. He arranged proper medical care for Hamid. He hired Asa as an assistant in one of his companies, where she not only kept up but excelled. He moved them to a safer home. He checked on them daily. He found himself smiling more, breathing easier, sleeping lighter, and giving them a new life. Via a broken bar he unknowingly healed his own. Months passed. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Asa stood before him on the company terrace. "See a broken bar," she said softly. "I don't know how to thank you. You didn't just save USA, you restored our dignity." Ryan looked at her, really and realized the miracle that had happened the moment he met her eyes. "I didn't save you," he said, "you saved me." Because in Asa's courage, he rediscovered compassion. In her strength, he remembered his purpose. And in her eyes, those same eyes that once begged for leftovers, he found something he'd long believed he was unworthy of: belonging, connection, and maybe, someday, a broken bar love. Asa smiled, tears glistening. "Do you really think someone like me could change a man like you?" "You already did," he whispered. And with that, the girl who once asked for leftovers became the reason a millionaire found meaning again.